Hello, Chet Davis here with you today, your technology tutor, to give you a snapshot, a little sneak peek at the brand new Facebook timeline, and to give you some tips on how you can launch your own and some suggestions for launching it with privacy in mind and the best for you to do so. Now, you can find out about this if you haven't received an invitation. We're all going to get one over the next few days or perhaps weeks, and it's called the timeline. Okay, it's the Facebook timeline. If you don't have it yet, you don't have an invitation, go to facebook.com/timeline, and what you'll get is this page here. There's a short video that will detail some of what I'm sharing with you and maybe some more information as well. It's good to see. And then you can scroll down and they kind of give you a sense of what timeline's going to look like. And at the very bottom, it'll tell you which of your friends have already used and signed up for timeline. Now, if you haven't gone to this yet, there's a link down here and it says launch timeline, start timeline. And what it will do, it'll take you to your Facebook page, but in the timeline view. Okay, so here's my regular Facebook page, and when I click on me, here's my timeline view. So here's that brand new appearance. Now I've already launched mine, and I'll show you in a minute what it will look like if you haven't launched yours yet. Once you click that Start Timeline button, you'll have 7 days to prepare it for public view. So it doesn't go live automatically. You get 7 days, you get a week to play with it. And here's why, because not only does it present your information in a very different way than it has before, right there in your face with all the likes and the posts, the photos that you've added, the comments that you've added, the things that you've been involved in are there. But on the right side, when you scroll down here, look at this. This is why it's called a timeline. It's reverse chronologically viewing all your activity in the Facebook atmosphere. So right now, here's now, and if I want to go back and see what was last month's, there's November, and it takes a few moments. It'll flush out and fill up the details and the information. So it does take a few moments to access all that data back on the Facebook servers. Depending on what you've added, if you've tagged photos from long ago, depending on when you came to Facebook, I came to Facebook in 2008, so I can click on 2008 and I'll see some of the posts that I had several years ago. Now, what I've done is since I first launched Facebook timeline in preview mode, is I've gone back and I've added some photos of me from way long ago. Okay. Now the earliest that you automatically have is the word born. So when you click on born down here, it takes you back to when you started life on planet Earth. Now I've got a photo in there. I've chosen not to indicate my actual birth date year. And Facebook, other privacy experts recommend not doing that as well. There's a lot of reasons, and I've got a webinar where I talk all about it. But suffice to say, you want to be careful about what you're sharing on Facebook. Now I've gone through and I've loaded some highlights in here, okay? And when you start work, a new job, when you were engaged, when you were married, and then it goes through all the regular posts. Now as you're going back and rebuilding these, what you have is notice that in addition to the regular status update, the ability to load a photo, to mark a place where you've been, there's this brand new one called Life Event. Now here's what that is. Life Event has these 5 different categories. So if I'm going to add something new, I would click Work and Education, and I have these options: when I started a new job, when I retired, when there was a new school, when I went to study abroad, and so on. For each of these categories, there is Other Life Events. So if it doesn't fit in what's above, you can add the Other Life Event. Now this is an odd one. Under Health and Wellness, like when I quit a habit, overcame an illness, when I had a broken bone. I don't know if we all need to share that, but I'll leave that up to you. That's between you and your friends. Here's a family and relationships. When you first met someone, it's a new relationship, engagement, marriage, new child, and so on. Home and living. Okay, and then travel and experiences, the fun stuff. When did you try a new sport? When did you travel and received an achievement or award? And they had that last tattoo or your nose pierced, whatever. So it's nice to know there's some ways that you can flush this out. And when you do this, let's say you had a new job, for example, just recently, I launched a company, and my company is called Your Video Expert, and I'm the owner of the company. Okay, and I currently work here. Now, when did I start this? I started this in 2011, and I actually launched this, it was October of this year, and so I could upload a photo as well. So you click on upload a photo, and I'll do that later on, and you save that. So it will actually go ahead and plant that in there, and it'll scroll down, and you can come back here. There it is. See, started work at You're a Video Expert. And I have the ability to go back now and add a photo. We can edit it. And every time you add a new event, what happens is it goes as a large event. Okay, it's what's called featured. And if you want it to be diminished, you come over here on the timeline and you click on the star, and it will go down to just one column. So if it's a kind of normal event, a regular event, it goes to one column. If you wanted it to be something that's, going to totally celebrate, it's something just absolutely fantastic. Okay, for example, when you get married, rather than have it be minimized in the timeline, which I just clicked, and I'm finding that this new timeline view, it's still a little bit quirky. It's going back and forth. See, when I'm clicking on things, it's not really there. It is. Okay, so now it's minimized, and if I go, oh no, I really want that to be featured and highlighted, you come back here and you click on that star, and it turns back into featured. And if you want to add some more information, you have the ability to edit this story. Okay, so you can swap out, you can put a new photo, a different photo in there. You can put some information related to the story. And depending on the life event that you've chosen, there will be a different icon over here, but it will also have different information. Married to whom, where was the location, etc. Here's something I want to show you that I think is very important, and privacy experts really recommend paying attention to this. That's this right here. Each one of these life events that you add, you have the ability to adjust to whom is that information is going to be exposed to. Now, if it's set to public, anybody in the world who has the ability to access the internet and access Facebook has the ability to see that information. So again, it depends on what you want to do. So for things like this, I'm going to come in and say I only want friends to see that. Okay, you can customize it. You can make it close friends. You can make it family. You can make it lists of individuals. So if you've established lists in your Facebook account, it can be coworkers, for example, or it can be people in your church and synagogue. It's up to you. But I'm going to go ahead and leave this as friends, and I'm going to save that. So now it's saved as a friend. Okay. So when I go back up to the top here, a few more things I want to show you is you have the ability to click on the About button, and this is the page that we've played with before. You've seen in a different incarnation. It's all the information, work and education, your history by your About You, basic information, contact information, where have you lived, and all that kind of thing. And anytime you want to go back, you just click on this Chet Davis button. For you, of course, it'll be a different name there. Then you have the ability to click on Activity Log. Now, Activity Log is all the stuff that you've done, what you've liked, comments that you've added, all that kind of stuff. So there's a lot of information, okay? So let's come back to Chet Davis here. One of the nicest things I like about the new Facebook timeline is this here. This is called a cover. In fact, let me go ahead and show you what we're going to do is I'm going to remove cover. So when you first go to timeline view, what you're going to see is this, your profile picture and emptiness. Okay. To add a cover, to add a photo, simply click on the Add a Cover, and it tells you some information about it here. And what you can do is you can choose from the photos you've already loaded, or you can upload a new photo. Now, I recommend taking a photo that's got some decent resolution because it blows it up kind of large. Now, I do have some photos already in my Facebook that I want to use. So there's a photo. It's a nice photo of me walking on the bay at low tide, and that was Cape Cod a couple years ago doing some video work out there. Now once it loads the photo, you have the ability to click with the little hand, click and drag, and kind of customize how you want that. Isn't that neat? And you saw that when you save the changes, your profile pic kind of sits on top of that. Let's change that out and show you another photo as well. Maybe you just want a photo of scenery. So I'm going to choose from there. Here's a picture I took of the Golden Gate Bridge. Now we're only seeing clouds. So what I want to do is I want to click and I want to drag that photo up. So it's just right here. I've got a nice tuft of grass hiding my profile pic, but the towers of the bridge over here, I'm going to go ahead and save those changes as well. And I think it looks really nice. If you don't have photos that you're really happy with, or maybe you want to try something a little bit on the edge or something a little bit creative beyond your own photographs, here's an option for you. There is an app called Timeline Covers. And what you're able to do is you can select from famous quotes, personal, fashion, etc. And what it will do is it'll take that photo and put it up here. See, so you can use these photos as your cover photo and then still have your profile picture over here. Isn't that cool? So that's that's the Facebook timeline view. It's ready for you to use right now. Now remember, again, once you start using it in preview mode, you still have 7 days to work it out and get comfortable with it. And in those 7 days, not only should you maybe consider adding some backstory, adding some information before you actually got started using Facebook, that's up to you, but definitely go back through there and see if maybe there's some photos that might be considered embarrassing or less thoughtful, and you can delete or hide them or change the privacy settings so only a smaller group sees them. Because remember, more and more people are using Facebook to check out potential employees. There are law enforcement is using Facebook, attorneys are using Facebook, and I think men and women are using Facebook to kind of check out future mates as well. So make sure what you've got posted to Facebook is what you want to share to the world and to the future people in your life. If you'd like more information on technology, personal technology tips and news, relevant information, and how to access my free 1-hour video seminar on Facebook and privacy, visit me on Facebook. It's Your Technology Tutor. Facebook.com/Your Technology Tutor. I'm Chet Davis. Thanks for tuning in today.